Football is eliminating creativity, but these players broke all the rules. Coaches hated them. Analytics called them flawed, yet they dominated anyway. The truth about football's weirdest geniuses will shock you. Stick around. The final reveal proves why today's tactics would erase their magic. If you leave now, you'll never know how they hacked the game. David Beckham was never the fastest, never the most flamboyant, never the most physical. But what he possessed was something close to myth, a right foot that turned the laws of geometry into gospel. While modern wingers cut inside to play or invert into midfield, David Beckham hugged the touchline like it was sacred ground, dispatching crosses that cut through defenses like divine scripture. He wasn't interested in dribbling with footwork. He was content bending the game with precision. Today, a player like David Beckham might be converted into a right back, like Trent Alexander-Arnold, because his type of winger has been exiled. But back then, under Sir Alex Ferguson, a man less interested in tactical templates and more fascinated by raw expression, David Beckham was allowed to roam wide, deliver long balls, and orchestrate chaos with crosses. He wasn't bound to a pressing trigger or positional constraint. He wasn't asked to invert or fake width. He was simply allowed to do what he did best: send guided missiles into the box. And it worked. It worked so well that his game winner against Greece in 2001 is still considered scripture in English football folklore. Even when his prime had faded and he wore the all-white of Real Madrid, his intelligence and passing cut through the fog of decline. In today's tactical matrix, David Beckham would be stripped of his natural gifts and shoehorned into a rigid blueprint. But in the late 90s and early 2000s, he was football's last great crosser, a dying art form made flesh. Next on our list is Mesut Ozil. Mesut Ozil, the phantom playmaker, wasn't just a number 10. He was the embodiment of grace. He moved not with the intent of domination, but with the patience of an artist. While modern attacking midfielders are expected to be complete warriors, pressing, scoring, covering ground, Mesut Ozil was a creator first. He existed for that single moment, the moment when a defense cracked open under the weight of one impossibly perfect pass. He wasn't interested in putting up goals. He wasn't interested in pressing systems. He walked when he didn't have the ball, floated between zones like he wasn't tethered to earthly instruction. Today, a manager would demand Ozil press like Bruno Fernandes or Jude Bellingham. He would be asked to cover endless yards, score 10 goals a season, and tackle like his life depended on it. But that would be heresy. Ozil thrived in spaces of chaos and calm, threading impossible angles to forwards like Karim Benzema, Cristiano Ronaldo, and Angel Di Maria. At Arsenal, Alexis Sanchez and Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang fed off his sorcery. But football today doesn't favor mystics. It favors metrics. He was allergic to structure and only compatible with freedom. He wasn't built for analytics, but for aesthetics. When he touched the ball, it was an act of translation. He made the invisible geometry of the game visible. He was a master of moments, not algorithms. He did not fit into systems. Systems had to fit around him. And that, in today's data-obsessed football, is why Mesut Ozil has no heir. Next on our list is N'Golo Kante. N'Golo Kante, the ghost in midfield that breaks logic. Standing at 5 feet 6 inches, lacking physical intimidation and barely contributing goals or assists, he should have been a footnote in the modern game. But instead, he became a phenomenon. He wasn't a midfield general in the traditional sense. He didn't bark orders or throw himself into reckless tackles. He simply existed in more places than one human should. His stamina was a superpower, his timing immaculate, and his spatial awareness uncanny. Watching N'Golo Kante in his prime was like watching an invisible current sweep across the pitch. 1 second you were launching a counterattack. The next second the ball was gone, and Kante was gone too, off delivering the ball to someone more glamorous. He didn't need flair. He needed only the purity of repetition. Win the ball, recycle the ball, repeat. While midfielders like Andrea Pirlo sculpted the tempo with elegance, and Steven Gerrard thundered with physicality, N'Golo Kante glitched the simulation. He didn't dominate with touches. He dominated with presence. He didn't need to dazzle. He needed only to appear, like a ghost stepping through walls. Most modern defensive midfielders depend on height, aggression, and brute force. Kante depended on intuition, timing, and grace. He was a whisper, not a shout, and yet his influence roared louder than most. In Chelsea's Champions League triumph, he eliminates midfield after midfield with calm cruelty. He didn't need to control the game with passes. He controlled it with erasure. Wherever danger emerged, Kante appeared, not like a soldier, but like a guardian spirit. And that's what made him strange. He was too simple for analytics, too effective to ignore, and too kind to be a villain. He was football's most wholesome anomaly. Don't forget to subscribe, because the next football debate will tear the internet apart.